Okay, welcome back, guys. Now, this session is going to be about charts. This is the workplace, if I may call it uh, that name, the workplace for you to trade and make money from these markets. So, you can consider this as the most important part. That is, you should get acquainted with what charts are, how do they look, how to track price through it, and how do we use it. For most part, I have seen people, being afraid of these charts. They don't, feel comfortable enough to, actually read the charts. When I see a lot of people fumble to look for the tools where they are located, or the way to customize the chart or move the chart, they're kind of afraid, or let's say ignorant about how it is done. So the first thing that you must do, like when you find something new, you buy some new gadget, you go through its manual, you try and figure out how things can be done on it, be it as small as a smartwatch, or it could be a new vehicle that you have bought, or it could be a tablet or a PC. When you get that new piece from your, you take it out of the box, you try and learn how it works. I mean, how to switch it on, how to switch it off. You understand how to troubleshoot that thing. So it's the same with the charts as well. So today, what I am going to do is I'm going to make you acquainted with this animal, the chart that you see in front of you. There should be no fear about it. You should, in fact, or rather, I would say, you would fall in love with it once you understand how it works. And trust me, the way it looks right now in front of you, everything looks random. You don't know why the thing is going up or down, and you have no idea how it works. But trust me, when you go through the entire course and when you understand how this thing works, uh, it'll not be the same. You'll not see it with the lens of how people, see it when they are ignorant about it. So let's get started. Now, the very first thing that you have to understand about the charts is where to get it from. The first thing that worries people is, how do I open a chart? Where does it come? And there are a number of resources from where you can pull up a chart. As simple as you can just Google chart for, uh, let's say, Nifty. This is a simple chart that comes, when you search for it on Google. It's a very simple chart, a very simple line that moves up and down, and I'm sure you don't know what it means, but let's break it down for you. So the chart that you see in front of you, this is a line chart because it just has one line that is going up and down. And this line chart is based on two factors. One is time and the other is price. So on the left hand side, you can see this axis. This is showing the price, and the bottom axis is showing the time. And when we move across the time, what we are seeing is the value at that particular time of the asset that you are looking at. So Nifty 50 at 11 o'clock today was at the price you can see here in the box was at 21,258.40. So based on the time, you can see every minute or every interval we move ahead, it has gone up or down. And it's not just minutes that the value fluctuates in, it can move within seconds. So every movement or every fluctuation in the value of that asset is marked on this chart. So the line chart over here, now this is based on previous close. So what you are seeing over here is the price at the close of one. That is, this particular price was there at the close of 1 o'clock. So what do you mean by 1 o'clock? Uh, the tracking of price is based on the factors of opening and closing. So when you look at the time per se, 1 o'clock a time period starts. So we can consider 1 o'clock as opening. I'm just giving you an example here. So 1 o'clock something opens, that is this market or this chart or this particular charting package, it opens. And then it is tracking the price movement. And then let's say 3 o'clock that period closes. So at the close of 3 o'clock, whatever is the price, it's been shown over here. But between 1 and 3, the highest it has gone is this price. And between these two time periods, the lowest it has gone is over here. So now I have introduced two more things, the highest and the lowest price between a time period. So these are certain things that you would want to know. Trader generally looks for the values that I have been speaking of. What was the highest high between a period? What was the lowest low? What was the price at the open and price at the close? But you can see there is a limitation over here. Since this is a line chart, the values of high and low have to be calculated manually over here. And this high and low is again based on just the closing price at that particular time. That's why line chart cannot give you all those data points that we look for. So what's the solution for that? The solution is we look at the candlestick chart. So how does that look? Let's have a look at a candlestick chart. So right away you can see there are a lot of photographs over here. Let's start with this one because this is the building block of the candlesticks chart. So what do we mean by candlesticks? Firstly, the drawings in front of you, they look like a candle. And distinctively, there are two types of candles. One, you can see here, which is painted in green. This is called as bullish candle. And the one in red is a bearish candle. Why this is a bullish candle? Because at the opening of that particular period, the price was over here. The lower body of the candle shows the opening price. And at the close of that time period, the price went higher and it closed over here. So the upper part of this body is the closing price. But between these open and close, the highest price is marked with this upper wick, the high, and the lowest bar is marked with a low. So you can understand one candlestick is giving you four data points, the high, low, open, and close. So whenever a trader is tracking data, what he is looking for is OHLC, open, high, low, and close. These are the four data points that he wants to know. Uh, so here we have seen that price in a particular time period opens lower and closes higher. That's why this is called as a bullish candle. In colloquial terms, what I can say is the price has gone upwards. That's why it is called as a bullish candle. So bullishness is a outlook about a trader. So most of the times you will find that it is because of the buyers that the number of buyers was higher and then the price went higher. It doesn't work like that. So please don't go by those definitions of candles. You will find a number of videos on YouTube and you might subscribe to those ideas. It doesn't work like that. That's why I'm going right from the basics. I don't want you to pick up all those wrong ideas. So all that this candle means is during a particular time period, where did the price open? What was its closing price? What was its high? And what was its low? When during a particular time period, price falls, that is, it opens higher and then it closes lower. That means the closing price was lesser than the opening price. That is the time the color of the candle turns red, because here we are going with the green and red symbol. But when you open your own charting package, you can see there are other colored charts also. Now, why do they have different color? It's just the preference of the person who has set these colors. So what I follow is I use a white hollow candle as a bullish candle and a dark black candle as the bearish candle. So that's my color preference. You could prefer a different color, like someone over here is using green and red, light green and whatever red color. Some people go with blue and white. It's all individual preference. So this is the one that I use, the black and white. And in one of the charting packages, I also use the green and red candle. So that's indifferent. I mean, color is immaterial. You can choose your own preference over here. What we need to understand is the basics. Now, let me use this diagram. It looks a little more darker and it has also, marked all the important things. So this is where the opening is. This is the closing, the highest price during that period, and the lowest price during that period. Now, this wick that is there on the bottom end is also referred to as the lower shadow, and the upper part of the wick is also referred to as upper shadow. What I refer to in my own, you can say, live sessions is I call it a wick. I do not say upper shadow or lower shadow. So don't be worried about what we name it. I refer to it as a wick. Now you would see there are a number of candlestick patterns that people look for, and that is not required to be learned. I remember when I learned about candlesticks, I have gone through every course that Steve Nissen is the person who has actually brought this idea from Japanese. He has converted all these concepts into English, and he has prepared a number of courses around that. So whatever course he prepared, I have gone through it, and initially I would swear by it that this is it. In fact, once I started learning about the candlestick patterns and all, I felt the chart was speaking to me. That's where the love of the charts began. But sooner I realized that it's not very consistent. This is not how it works, because it is restricting your view to just those few candles that you are trying to interpret over there. But that's not how price works. And that's why don't waste your time in trying to understand all these terminologies. It's a waste of time. There are so many candlestick patterns, the hammer, the tweezers, the doji, and all. You will sound knowledgeable, but it means nothing when you have to use it for interpretation of or forecast of what price is going to do. We'll learn certain patterns, but it's not this. I'll be teaching you the things that actually matter going ahead. So don't waste your time on learning candlestick patterns. So far we have understood what these candles mean, what are the points that it marks. Let's now move on to a chart that shows candlesticks. So where I pull up my chart from is a website called tradingview.com. So when for the first time you open this site, you just search for it on the Google and go to the website. Now, over here, I have already signed in to this account. Let me sign out. So this is the page that you will see once you are signed out and you have not prepared any account. Now, my suggestion to you is sign up for this service because the charting or the charts package that the website or provides, this is the best that is available and it's for free. Very few things are paid over here, and you don't require to have a paid subscription of this website to access charts. There are certain things that one needs subscription for. That is, we'll discuss it once we go ahead. But right away, I would recommend you all to sign in. Now, the reason why we sign in is because if we do not sign in, after some time, that chart will disappear. And while I'm talking, you will notice there will be a pop-up over here saying that you need to sign in. So that is kind of frustrating because when I use my chart, I try to customize everything on it. So I do not like these volume bars over here on my chart. So I generally remove that. Then in the background, I do not use these vertical and horizontal lines. So I remove them. I change the color of the background, the color of the candles. So this is not the look that I want to use for my trading. So when we are trying to do that, once we customize this and we are not signed in, this doesn't get saved. So next time when I open my chart, I'll have to do the same thing over and over again. So that's time consuming. So the way to get around that is sign up for an account and sign in into the charting package. How you do that is basically now that I am already on the chart, I'll have to go over here and click on sign in. But from the home page over here, I can just click on this button and then click on sign in. So I'll just use my existing account over here. You can use Google or any other connected account that you have. And uh, once you are signed in, everything that you do while you are signed in, that gets saved. So we'll just go to the super charts. And the moment I have opened this chart, it has opened it in a way that I have customized it for myself. Now, don't be worried about how do I customize it to my liking. You can experiment it. And that's why I say once you see this lesson, I would want you all to go back and set up your own charts. You know, play around with the settings, see what you your eyes are more comfortable with, and you can change it later if you feel that there is something else that you want to do with it. It's hardly uh, anything technical about it. I mean, it's a very, very simple thing to do. So this chart, uh, the way I have customized it is just right click on that, go to settings, and now there are a number of settings over here. I do not tinker too much with customization, but whatever I do, I'm just showing it to you. So what I have done is for the candles, I have used the body color as white and black. The borders are black for both because if I do not put a border, then these candles would look faded. That's why I have put it. And for the wick, I have used black color for both the ends. Now you can customize it for different, but it serves no purpose. So that's why I have kept it over here. Uh, then the trading session over here shows electronic trading hours. And I can change this setting from here also. You can see this is also mentioning electronic trading hours. And if I click over here, I can shift to regular trading hours. What they mean, we'll cover in future. But there is a setting to change it from electronic to regular and regular to electronic over here. So that's about it from this, panel that I use. Going to the status line, I have made no changes over here. So it's as it is. Even in the scales, I have not done much over here. So there's nothing that I have changed here. On the canvas, I have changed the background color to solid gray. The reason I use this color is I'm staring at the charts for a very long time. And as I said, I have once you start learning, or when you understand how this chart works, you'll also fall in love with it. You would want to test your prediction, or rather say test your own analysis continuously. So you would want to look at the charts for a longer time. So if you're doing that and the background is white, it reflects a lot of strong light at your eyes. So it will not be very pleasant for the eyes. And that's why I have kept a very neutral gray color in the background. And the only thing that stands out in this is the candles and the wicks. So black colored are the bearish candles, and the white color ones are the bullish candles. So just to revise, in the bullish candle, the price opens lower and closes higher. That's why the color of this candle is white. And the highest part of the upper wick is called as the high, or the highest price during that period. And the lowest part is the low. So now I'm showing you this candle over here, but how do I read the price that it is showing? So the way to do that is once you hover over that candle, see, when I'm taking my cursor over there, the crosshairs basically. So even if I have my cursor down here, you can see there is a faint dotted line, the straight line, which is not moving. The horizontal one is moving, but the vertical one is fixed on this one. That line basically is selecting this particular candle. And you can see on the top over here, OHLC. These are the values basically of that particular candle. So when I'm highlighting that candle, these are the prices of open, high, low, and close. So right now I'm keeping the candle selected, and you can see the opening price is 4923.50. The high is 4926.50. So right away you know that the opening price is lower, and the high, or let's say the closing price over here is higher, 4924.50. So compare the close and open. You can see when the opening is lower than the close, or when the closing is higher than open, the candle is termed as bullish candle. And on the chart, it will show up like this, wherein the opening would be the lower edge of the body and the closing would be the upper edge of the body. But the moment you change it to a bearish candle, over here you can see the opening price, and the same price point you can see on the scale also over here. I'm highlighting this candle. You can see on the top end, this is the opening price. So the opening price over here is 4924.25. And on the horizontal axis, or the right side, the vertical price axis, this one, you can see the opening price is 4924.25. So price opened here, it closed lower. So the closing price is 4921.75. Since the closing was lower than the open, the color of this candle has turned black, and this is termed as a bearish candle. But even in the bearish candle, the upper wick always demarcates the highest price, and the lower wick demarcates the low. So in case of wicks, there is no confusion. The high always shows a highest price during that portion, and the lowest during that. Uh, the only thing that differs between these two, uh, the only thing that differs between these two is the opening and closing price. Now that the bullish candle and bearish candle are understood, I would want you all to just spend some time looking at different candles, trying to understand where it opened, where it closed. Just try to get familiar with the high and low, how the candles are forming. Now, over here, you can see this particular candle. Now, one candle is basically demarcating the movement or fluctuation that happened during that particular minute, because every candle is uh, recording the fluctuation for every minute. If I change it to 5 minutes, every candle would then be marking, or let's say printing, at the interval of 5 minutes. So right now, the current candle over here is showing the uh, fluctuations that have begun at 20 to 11 over here, the last candle over here, and it opened over here and it is going downwards. That is why the color is red. Now, this is a candle that is currently forming, and it's a 1 minute candle. So at the end of 1 minute, this candle will get finalized and the next one will open. Like the one over here, this candle closed and then the next one opened. So now we are waiting for the close. So how long it's going to take to close? This is the ticker. So 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, one and zero. So now the color is finalized as black. Why? Because at the closing, the price was lower than where it opened. And the next candle has opened over here, and again it has just opened here and it has gone straight lower. So you can see there is no upper wick over here. So the highest price or the high and open are same. You can note over here, open and high are same, and that's why there is no upper wick. It might so happen that there may not be a bottom wick. In that case, the opening and the low are same. For this candle, you can see there is no upper wick, there is no lower wick. So the opening and low are same, and the closing and high are same over here. Again, there is just 1 second left for this candle to close, and you can see the lowest it went down is over here, but the closing happened just a bit above. That is just one, by one tick. So while the candle is forming, the color may change from white to black. The color of the candle only finalizes after the close of the candle. So it might so happen, you can see this white colored candle, it's trading higher, but at before the close, if it goes lower than its open, the color will change to black. And again, if it goes upwards and closes higher, then the color will again change from black to white. You can see now it is at the open itself. So you can see there is upper wick, lower wick, no body. Now it is ticking upwards, it is showing a white colored body. But if the tick, you can see now the closing happened below its open. That's why the color changed from white to black. So this is something that confuses a lot of new person. How does the candle form actually? So you are actually let's again use some drawing to understand how it works. So let's say this is the beginning time period, and it could be any time interval. You can see 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. It can even go down to 1 second and sub-seconds. All that we are interested in is there is a, beginning point of time and there is a ending point of time. So in terms of jargon or the trading jargon, you can call it opening and closing. So this is the opening of that period and this is the closing of that period. And this period could be 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It is immaterial. It's as of now, you need to understand there is a time to open and there is a time to close. So if we are looking at this minute per se, at the beginning of this minute, the price opens at a particular place. So let's call it this is the opening price. So the opening price here is 4913. Now, Price can go up over here, it can go down from here. All this is fluctuating. While it is yet to close, the price is free to go up and down. It can move in any direction. As long as it is below the opening price, the color at that time would be black. The moment the price goes up above the opening price, the color of the candle will look white. And let's say price later closes over here. This, this becomes the closing price. The closing price is 4914. The opening was 4913. So this candle is going to look something like this. Let me show it to you how this looks in a candlestick. So since this is the opening price, you will have a box beginning over here. Let me change it a bit, not extend it right. And I'll give it a white color. Okay. So now I have this box over here. Now this is showing the opening price over here and the closing price is over here. And then we'll also, let me remove that simple dotted line in between. So this is the box, and then we'll have a wick above it because this is the highest price. Price would have a wick from here upwards up to the highest point here, and there will also be a wick lower because price also went lower down till here. So this is the lowest part. So this is how a candle forms. It's not very precise over here because I'm drawing on the chart, but I hope you understand. This is how the price fluctuated during this time period. So at opening, it was here. It did go higher. So this is the highest high. Then it went lower to this low. That's why this is the low. And then it closed over here. Since it closed above its opening, the body is white colored. But had it closed lower over here, then the same candle would have turned black and it would have been like this. The body would have gone lower because opening is over here, the closing is over here, till the low is here, and now the upper wick would be a larger wick. And the color of this candle would turn black. So that's how it will look. So I hope you understand the mechanism with which this candle is being printed on the chart. Uh, so you have to observe this part. It's very you know uh, important that you understand this part because I have seen a lot of new students. They fail to understand why the colors are changing, and they are very confused when it comes to when I'm pointing them certain candles. They get lost within this entire sea of what exactly I'm indicating. So every candle has a address. That address is basically in terms of its time. So this candle, if I'm referring to, I would say the candle at 22:14 on 1 minute chart. This is the bullish candle that I am referring to. So a candle basically is uh, basically relative to the time frame that is marked on and exactly at the time. So if we are on a 1 minute chart and I say 22:14, 22:14 is basically the time, and this is the candle that I am indicating. If I have to indicate this candle, so I would say 1 minute chart candle at 2101. If I am on a 15-minute chart, I might be indicating this candle. So I would say a bearish candle at 2000 hours on a 15-minute chart. So this is the candle that I'm referring to. So get used to how I'm indicating these candles and what are the price points that the candle is showing you. Now, another thing that you need to understand about a chart is the fractal nature of the time. All of us are aware that for a period of 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. So we are on a 1 minute chart. So between a period of 1 hour, we'll be having 61-minute candles. So let's mark the beginning of a 60-minute time frame. So let's say this is 9 o'clock and the hour closes at 2200 hours. So the candles between this, now the thing which I did over here, we are trying to do it on the chart here. This is 9 o'clock and this is 10 o'clock. So between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, this is how price fluctuated up and down. So the opening price, if I have to mark, I would say this is the opening price and the closing price is the closing of basically the last candle. So this is the closing price at 2200 hours. The closing price of the last candle is over here. So you can see this opening is higher than the closing. So what colored candle are we expecting to form on the 1 hour time frame? And if you are saying a black color, you are correct. If you're saying any other this thing, then you are wrong. So let's try to draw that candle, how it will look on the 1 hourly chart. So over here we have this body over here. So this is how the body of that candle would look. The upper edge would be the opening price. The lower edge would be the closing price. And the wick basically would be from the body downwards to the lowest part. So from here, the lowest part it has gone down to is this one here, so that we'll be able to keep it straight. And on the upper side, you can see there is a very small wick upwards over here, basically from here to here. So if I have to show this candle on the hourly time frame, this is how it would look. So during this 1 hour between 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, the price opened over here, it closed over here. The highest it went to is the high of this wick, and the lowest it went down to is this. And since the price closed lower than its open, this is black colored. And that's why this would be termed as a bearish candle. And the same thing would again apply for a bullish candle wherein price would have traded above the opening price. So if I have to, let's say, show you a time period of 1 hour between 9:30. Now, why I'm using 9:30 is as per the US timings that matching to uh, R to R is basically, you know, rounded to that half an hour. I mean, it's not exactly at 9 o'clock that we have a hour starting in US. So it starts at 9:30 and it ends at 10:30. So if we are going to mark this, then the opening price is over here. The opening price of the first candle over here is basically this one. Let me draw this as opening. Okay, I have a horizontal line. I'll use it for that. So this uh, I'll use this opening price. So this is the opening price, and let's say it closed somewhere where it is right now. So let's say this yeah, I'm just using it hypothetically, just to show you an example of a bullish candle. So this, let's say, is opening, and this is the closing. So the body would be from this end to the closing price. The low would be until this wick, and the high would be over here. So the upper wick would be from here to this high, and the lower wick would be from wherever the lower edge of the body is until the lowest price. Let me up a little bit. So from here to here. So this is how a candle would look on the uh, 1 hourly time frame. And why I want to show you that is we'll be changing the time frame now to the why is this not getting selected? Okay, okay. This is the opening and this is the closing. You can move this magnet. Now, also be aware of this button over here. This looks like a magnet. Now, why this magnet is important is it helps you to stick the markings exactly to the levels that are closer. So this edge has aligned with the highest price over here on this candle. So when I move it above it, it doesn't have anything to snap to. But let's say I move it over here and I leave it. It snaps right to the high over here. So wherever I'm leaving this marker, it is getting aligned to the nearest level that is there on the chart. But when I don't want that snap alignment, I switch it off, and then I'm free to move wherever I want, and it doesn't move at all. So over here, I would have the body ending over here because this is the closing price we are assuming, and then we will have its background as white. So this would be a bullish candle with its wick from the upper edge of the body to the high over here, and the lower wick would be from the lower edge of the body down to the lowest low during that time. So this is how a chart is forming. So while we are watching it on 1 minute chart, this candle on the 1 hourly time frame is still getting formed. So it's not closed yet. It is going to close at 22:30. So if I move the time frame, we are over here. And as I said, since the price is above its opening, the color of this particular candle is white right now. So I'm just removing all these markings now. You can see this is the candle that is under formation right now. The current candle that is yet to be finalized. There are 36 seconds for this candle to close and finalize. So on the hourly basis, we are seeing formation of this candle, and within that candle, we have gone down into a lower time frame that is on a 1 minute chart, where we could see 60 different candles forming, which are a subset of this particular candle. So while on a 1 hourly chart, we don't know how it moved up and down on the lower time frame. The color is finalized over here. So everything that happened during this candle it cannot be seen right now, because on this time frame the only data point that we have is the open, high, low, and close. We do not see any more fluctuations within this candle, and that's why we go down to lower time frames to see this in high definition. So it's like mm, having a microscope and you are now going deeper into it to find more resolution and see what else happened during that time period. So when we go down to 1 minute chart, you can see again on the 1 hourly chart. Let me highlight, this is the candle we are talking about. It started at 21:30 and it closed at 22:30. And the next candle, once this candle closes, the next one opened. So the next candle has begun at 22:30 and it will close at 23:30. So between that open and close, where it has gone is basically marked as open, high, low, and close. So the only price points for this candle are open, high, low, and close. But when I go down to 1 minute chart, I can see for every minute during that period, that is from 9:30 to 10:30, where all it went. It went lower, it went higher, again lower, it went higher. So all these fluctuations cannot be seen from 1 hourly perspective. But when you go down to 1 minute chart, you can see all the fluctuations from up to down and wherever it has gone up and down. I mean, everything can be seen in high resolution at 1 minute. There is a way to go even below 1 minute, and you go down to 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 second, and every fluctuation. So every candle in a 1 second chart would be depicting the fluctuation for that 1 second. So that's how the charts form, and that's how the data is depicted. We, in our own analysis, we will be moving up and down in these time frames. So you should not get lost in that. You will be able to see some picture on 1 hourly chart. But again, to get some more details, we may have to move lower. So we have a you know way to get comfortable with all these time frames. All of them are still tracking the fluctuation in price. But if we have to form a storyline of how it is moving, where it is going, why, and how, will require some more, resolution or some more points to look at, and they cannot be seen on just one single time frame. So the story that you can read over here, like uh, right now, the current candle on the hourly chart is showing the price going lower. But at some point in 1 minute chart, you will see that there is a part wherein it has gone higher as well during the same period. It has gone higher from here to here, but ultimately it has come down back to this candle. So, the perspective that you get from each time frame is different, and that's why they are very important to understand. I am not going to confuse you by talking about all those details over here. Right now, the only aim that you have is to get comfortable with looking at charts. We are not worried about, the analysis part as of now. All that we are looking for is how the chart forms, what are the data points, how to customize it, and how to read it. What are the tools that are important? I'll introduce them as well over here. So far we have covered a lot of ground over here. Uh, let me. I'm tempted to, just predict where it is going, and this is where I expect it to reach to. It's just by looking at the chart, sometimes I get, tempted to put my prediction on the chart, and this is what I also want you all to do: is put your analysis to test. That is, when you start reading the chart and when you start predicting, okay, this is where I expect it to go because of a certain reason, obviously. But when you start doing that, you get into a habit of predicting the future move, because that is what is going to make money for you. So once you learn these concepts, you'll start putting it all together and practicing on the chart. So whenever you do that, you are in a way training your mind to predict it. I'm not asking you to do it right away, but this is just one way of practicing on charts. And for those who are already aware of the concepts that I have been covering, the reason why I marked this low is I'm seeing price moving from a internal range. This is where it went up to, and now it should be attacking the external range liquidity. So where is the external range? It's basically between this high and this low. So if it is going down to this low, then the next in line is this one, and that's why whenever there is a low, and it has just hit the mark. So this is where I wanted to see price go, and it has done that beautifully. Those who are already aware, you would appreciate that this is not something that I have just pulled out of thin air. I have been indicating such things for a very long time now. So that's about the prediction part. You'll be able to do that in due course of time. But once you understand how the price moves and where it is going, you can make use of that. So if you just rewind a little back, and see wherever this price was, let's say over here, since I had noticed it over here itself, it is going here. At that time, the price was, let's say, 4919, and the place where I expected to go is 4910. So that's about 9 points. So 9 points or nine handles is basically equivalent to close to $500 using one e-mini or a standard lot basically. So one standard lot, if I had sold over here and covered it at this low, I would have made about $500 in this move. So that's the efficacy of these charts. When you understand how to read it, it becomes like a treasure map. So this place is where the treasure was hidden, and from here I was targeting it. So when you understand how to read this chart, you would see where all that treasure is hidden, and you can participate in those moves and make whatever you want. So that's about the chart part. Mm, I want you all to make your own accounts on TradingView. Go into the chart, customize it as per your liking, and get used to moving between time frames. So, how do you get used to it? Like I said, 1 minute chart would have a single candle for every minute. So, if I have to imagine how this would look on a 2 minutes chart, then every uh, candle would depict what happened during those 2 minutes. So if I have to go back, you can see this candle and this candle could be combined. So when I combine both the candles, the opening price is higher and the closing price is lower. So this would still be a black colored candle with a longer wick downwards and a smaller wick upwards. If I combine these two candles over here. Again, the opening price is here and the closing is over here. So it will be a large body from up here to this closing price, and the wick would be a small wick until the lowest part over here and the highest over here. If I have to imagine how this chart would look on a 5 minutes basis, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I combine these five candles together, then the opening is up here and closing is over here. The small wick upwards here and small wick lower. So if I just change it to 5 minutes chart, you can see this is a large down close candle because the opening is up, the closing is lower, and you have a wick to the lowest point. So it's not very different. The storyline is the same. The price has been fluctuating for every second. How we see it printed on the chart is basically based on the time frame. So if it is going to mark the fluctuations for 5 minutes, every 5 minutes data point gets recorded over here. But if I have to see how actually it moved from here downwards, I'll have to go down to a lower time frame to see exactly how it fluctuated. So even while this candle formed, it was going lower over here and then again it closed higher. So if I go down to a 30-second chart, I might see two white close candles over here from here upwards. So that's how this chart forms across the time frames. So it's going to, look different, but the meaning is basically shown over here. Now, this internal range that I have marked over here wouldn't have been visible if I was going to, or I was watching a hourly chart. If I was going to watch an hourly chart from 8:30 to, let's say, 10:30, let's say from 8:30 to 10:30, if this was a 2 hourly chart, in that case, I would not have been able to predict what I just did in front of you because the resolution is missing. I do not see this particular place. Now, I have not introduced why I have marked this portion over here, but for those who are aware, they know I call it as a fair value gap. And this is a bearish fair value gap. So I wouldn't have been able to see this if I was not on the 1 minute chart. This is this fair value gap is only visible on this 1 minute chart. If I move up even to 5 minute, this fair value gap may not be visible on that because the candle gets blended. And on the 5 minute chart, you can see there is no fair value gap. That is why it's important to see these lower time frames because they will help you understand the picture and the storyline that's in play. So the context was drawn from uh, this time frame. From the 1 minute chart, I understood the storyline, and then I have targeted the most obvious thing that the price will do. So that's about the importance of various time frames and how you understand the storyline across all time frames. Now, I will not cover a lot more details over here because there is some time required for you to digest whatever I have covered so far. You might not understand the importance of it right now, but once you start practicing analysis and reading these charts, these things will not be an impediment to you because you can see while I'm covering it live, I move from one time frame to other, and then a lot of people get lost. They don't know. I mean, some of them are so short. The memory is so short-lived. They do not remember this picture. Whatever we are going to learn in this course, it's all going to be visual. So this picture has to remain in front of your eyes. You have to get used to these things. You have to get used to moving between time frames up and down. And these things have to register in your mind. So the only way it can happen is when you expose yourself to it for a longer duration. You have to spend time with these charts, watching it, marking the things that I do. So over here, there are certain tools that I use for marking. You have seen me pull out certain things from the toolbox over here. Uh, so what I want you to do is just dabble through in these settings and try for yourself what these buttons will do for you. Uh, we I'll stop the recording over here. Go into the toolbox and practice. We are not going to use all these tools for our trading. So whatever is required, I'll show you from where I pull it up. The next part, I'll be discussing the Ninja Trader platform. That's the platform wherein we'll actually be placing trades. But this particular service that I use, it's basically a very good resource. You can use it for practice. You can, you know, keep it uh, active while you're learning. Uh, because on the Ninja Trader platform, the account expires every 14 days. So you may not have a very good record of it. That's why I do use both the platforms. So I want you to now first learn trading view, how to use the charts. We'll discuss a few more things about it. It's not over, but I'm not going to overburden you with all the details over here right now. So we'll continue it in the future sections. So we'll stop the recording over here. Just practice for your own self and get used to this platform. We'll take it on from here.